Welcome back to Car Tech TV and some more elemental adventures. Today we're diving into the ultimate question. Can you turn the inside of this Honda Element from a rolling echo chamber into a peaceful Zen garden? Can you make the inside not sound like a locomotive train or a diesel pusher RV? Spoiler alert, it involves sticking a lot of this fancy sound deadening stuff to every surface that you can find in here without accidentally soundproofing myself into the car. We'll also be installing some new door checkers because apparently my current ones think that half open or chewing my leg off is a cute personality trait of this toaster mobile. Now, in the world of cheap versus steep, this is actually a part that I think you don't need to buy the OEM one for. You can buy the $20 Amazon special, save yourself a couple bucks. They wear out about the same, so just cut a couple bucks there. You don't need OEM for this one. Will I emerge victorious? Or will these e-camper doors haunt me forever? Let's find out. Grab yourself a snack, hit that subscribe button, and let's see if we can turn this thing into a Mercedes G-Wagon. Or at least make it so that it doesn't sound like a tin can in a windstorm.
Today, we're going to be replacing the door actuator and putting sound deadening in our Honda Element. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is roll down the window, okay? Then if you come right to here, you're just going to kind of run your fingers right here and just pull off and pull up. You'll see there's two little clips here and then a push pin. So to put it back in, you just slide it down and push it in. We found in our garage. Let's just stick it in there, pry it off. Inside of here, you're going to find two Phillips head screws. You're going to find a third screw underneath here.
Speaker grill needs to come off. There's the three screws holding the speaker in are actually holding on part of these are like the easiest speakers ever to change. There's basically nothing to it. You can see that this one's a bit roached.
There would be a plug back here. You might as well just take this out.
So the next thing that needs to come off is this upper triangle here. And you're going to get a pry bar tool and you're going to start to go around to move that thing out of the way, basically spin it out of the way. And then you can pull the bar out of there. Yep, and then the bar should just lift right out.
Pick up and out. And pull. On here you'll see this plastic sheet and then continue pulling off the glue.
So some of the best mods we're going to be able to do to the inside of this Element for relatively cheap are going to be things like speaker upgrades, stereo upgrades, sound deadening, which goes into the walls, and of course inevitably these things always wear out. The door checker right there is going to be one of the best ones. I think that was $20 on Amazon. When we purchased this Element, it did not come with a door flicker or the key fob, so we actually purchased that on Amazon as well. And it came from a CRV, but it works, it's programmed. Come to find out that it was a bad door lock actuator on the driver's side. So now we're replacing that. So we're just going to do some cheap interior mods and upgrades and get this thing back to perfect. Make sure your car is off, unplug all that stuff.
So you're going to want to take off these two 10 mils and this one 12 mil. Once you crack them loose, I got myself a little teensy weensy extension. Just give myself a little bit more room to turn this thing. So it appears that this guy put just a tiny bit of Loctite on this.
Jeez. So this piece actually slips in from the inside.
So you're just gonna want to.
So we're just gonna take the old one out. Make sure you drop it into the door. Slide the new one back in.
Just make sure the parts look the same too. Yeah, these appear to be exactly the same.
Excellent.
It sits like that. Personally, I would get your two 10 mils first. Stick your 10 mils in there. So, get those two 10 mils in. What I would do is, you see how this bolt has a part that's not threaded? You just stick that through the door checker, then close the door till it's at the right point.
And that's why you put the 10 mils in first.
So that's tight enough, and then you'll notice that when you open this door, you'll notice a little bit of grease on there. Don't wipe that off.
That's one of our mods done. How long did that take?
5 minutes.
I think it was longer to take the door apart than it was to put that part in.
Yep. Next thing you're gonna do is just get this, put this in there.
This was a pain in the butt to get out of here. So when you pull this brass plate off of here, there's one screw. Just make sure that this piece here doesn't come off of there and get flipped around, but you can see the greasy side sticks out. So there's a clip on each side of these. Just get one kind of pried up a little bit and then go do the other one and you should be able to get it off by hand. The other thing is make sure that your door lock piece is rotated clockwise, or however, to fit into this little channel here, so that when you put it in there, they're lined up, because that's what actually moves the door in and out. Mine is not. So I'm gonna try and just spin it a little bit, clock it into the same exact place that the other one is. Then this should all just kind of snap together.
We reinstalled all of the parts of the door actuator. We plugged it back in, so now we're gonna test it. Make sure to shut all the doors, otherwise it won't work.
Excellent. First try. All right, so we're going to be prepping for our next interior mod, which is going to be sound deadening in the door. You can see we're going to hit this up with some rubbing alcohol, spray it down really well, and then wipe it all clean.
The reason you want to use rubbing alcohol is because it evaporates quickly.
Our Siless 80 mil sound deadener can get in there. Oh wow, comes in big sheets. Looks like lots of it. I think this is the 80 mil stuff. Tools you're going to need are going to be some rollers for when you're on the inside of the door, and something sharp to cut it with, probably a razor blade.
I'm not done rolling this one.
Alright, first piece is in. You can see the sound deadening back there. You want to flatten those little ridges out on it. That's how you know that it's installed. They don't need to be perfectly large pieces. They can have splits in them and stuff. So getting this to go in there with a little help from
try not to overlap it, Baron.
Yeah, with a little help from his brother.
So you're most likely going to want to do a test fit to make sure it fits. Find out where you want it.
Alright.
A bunch of small pieces is a lot easier than a few big pieces. So you're you just gotta like use whatever room you can find to kind of finagle these things in here.
How you doing on your side, kiddo? There's one area that should get a nice, good, solid piece. It's directly behind where the speaker goes. Just for sound resonance. Yeah, fold it in half, fit it in there.
This is going to be tricky. Don't worry about sticking it and then unsticking it. It really doesn't matter that much. Then when you're rolling, if you have a bunch of smaller wrinkles in it, roll from the middle to the outside. It'll kind of get rid of those wrinkles.
Try that. Just like take your fingers and rub it in there, or your knuckles or something. Is that easier?
Yeah. For tighter to reach spots, this works better because you're not scraping up your hand and you can get a little bit more pressure on it.
Keep in mind that if you read the packages, they say go to 25 to 50% coverage. So it doesn't need to be everywhere in there. You just need to get it to stop the sound from vibrating through the metal.
Really make sure to get those edges down so they don't peel up. So for the inside of the door, I would do lots of small pieces. For the outside, this is a big open area, so I would do some big pieces. What I'm doing is I'm just kind of lining this up. This is some leftovers we had. You can actually take your fingernail and just run it across this really hard, and you can see the marks I make. And then I'll just cut this after the fact and then put it on there. Peel this thing off and start from the middle and stick it down. So this is like right where I want it, so I'm gonna stick it down right in the middle here, and then
Roll these ridges in.
these you can kind of get in here diagonally with the smaller one and just kind of roll this. So another thing you can do to make the sound system sound better is you can cover these to make it more like a speaker box for the speaker. So you can see we cut a little hole in this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this over here, stick it on just about right there. So I'm gonna take this, try not to get the tar or whatever glue on this on the rod.
Pull it towards you a little bit. Yeah. Stick it. No, you missed it.
Whatever. Too late now. Flip this up into place.
Alright, so this is pretty much the finished product. We got it on the inside. We got it everywhere that you can go. You can kind of see where the vapor barrier line is down there and then up around the speaker. So we're basically going to put that back on as best we can, but that's where we went with the sound deadener. We also tried to cover up as many holes as we could to give it more of a enclosed speaker box.
This used to be a hole, this used to be a hole, big hole here. Just try to put as much deadening down as you can.
Alright, put the vapor barrier back in as best we could. A minor amount at the bottom so that it sticks down.
So for us, we had to take out the door actuator, so we had to move the window track. So what you're gonna do if you're doing that too is you're gonna plug all these back in and make sure the window still goes up and down.
All right, let's see if it works. Or you can see if auto down works. No, that's so after the battery gets disconnected.
All right, turn the car back on and roll the window down because it'll give you a little bit more clearance to get this thing in here.
We got a problem.
What?
Our door lock actuator was supposed to be connected there.
So we had a small issue. We had the bolt for the window track down here so this clip wouldn't go in. When you put the window track back on, make sure you put it in this bolt up here. We got our door back together and we're testing the actuator. You can see here, locks, unlock. And we also got the deadening. So Baron, knock on that door. Much lower noise, quieter on the inside.
Finishing up the passenger door on the sound deadening. We got the outer layer done, we got the inner layer done, we got the door vapor barrier back on, and now it is time to roll the window down so we can get this door card back in. Did you get it?
Yep.
Roll it down. The whole thing needs to lift up, so your side needs to fit onto this track here first. That's in place.
Actually starting to look somewhat like a door again.
That's right. Put the bar on here, and then you slip this back around, flip that back into place. There are tabs here, so you slide it in from the back side first, and then slide it back. All right, there you go, kiddo.
Just clip that in.
Snap.
This will fall and take the bottom, put the bottom in first, kind of push down, and then it'll just clip into place. Slip the bottom in first again. I got the speaker. You can see those the speakers
high
are
quality stock speakers.
Last trim piece. Again, kind of clips in from the side / the bottom. Just pop it on. Don't be too forceful, otherwise it'll break clips.
All right, folks, that's a wrap on sound deadening for this Honda Element e-camper. Now it's so quiet inside that you could hear a pin drop. We've turned this can on wheels into a rolling recording studio, ready for its next overlanding adventure, or maybe just a really bougie grocery run. And be sure to subscribe to Car Tech TV for more DIY madness, and drop a comment if you've ever accidentally glued yourself to the inside of the car. No judgment. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope this helped some of you with your projects. May your roads be smooth, may your drives be quieter, and hopefully your next project is a little less sticky. See you next time.